again, Kurt Pilon going up against Brian Himmler. And for Pilon, we'll get a close look at this youngster, 27 years old, 5'11", 185 pounds. So once again out of Warren, Michigan. But boy, he can light it up. Great amateur player.
And he was disappointed in the way he's been bowling since he's been on tour. He thinks it was time he made a telecast, and he's done it today.
Bringing it back. Oh, no problem. Sets it in the pocket. A courageous opening shot because some jitters that first shot, Marshall.
Well, the scores were very high throughout the entire week, and Pilon was there, had no problem, and very good opening shot to put the pressure on Brian Himmler.
Himmler a bit distracted here in the opening shot out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The foul light inadvertently went off. At times, PBA will have a foul line judge. Wow, bringing it back, and they were able to do that all week, but not on that opening shot.
Well, he leaves the 1, the 2, and the 10, and he looked at his hand after he threw that ball as if to say to himself he didn't get the proper leverage, didn't get the right hit on the ball. Look how far to the right that ball goes. It's on the 1 board at 50 feet. That's no way it's going to come back. Himmler throws the big hook for his strikes, but he'll throw the ball very hard and very straight for the spare.
12 out of 20 events he has cashed in this year.
Great spare shooter, Himmler makes the 1, the 2, and the 10. And that's going to settle him down quite a bit. But he's certainly concerned about the way he threw that first ball, getting it far to the right, not hooking it back.
Only title once again in Albuquerque. Seated second, defeated Brian Voss, Chris Barnes in that tournament. And this television pair, 47 and 48, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, for the right-handers, the left-hand lane has a little more oil on it. Ten pin goes. Great shot from Himmler. The right-hand lane's going to hook a little more. Left-hand lane is a little bit tighter, but they're pretty close. We'll take a look at this ball going well to the right, but you can see, Phil, it only gets to about the 6 board. Makes the hard charge back, 6 pin out of the channel just to tap it out. And the thankful reaction.
Pilon up in the second frame. Started off this opening match with a strike.
That's high. Crosses over, leaves nothing but the 5 pin. Pilon goes much more direct than Himmler. The trajectory straight down the lane. Ball just never had a chance. Crosses over into the 1-2 pocket. Parker Bone would like that later on in the telecast, but for Pilon, not what he wanted. But it gives him the opportunity to practice the strike shot once again. Probably move in a couple boards to the left. Give a little more room.
Shot one of 12 300 games this week. Parker Bone on top, 3 300s. No problem with that 5-pin spare, so we're all even after the second frame. Pilon up in frame 3, once again making his first televised appearance. Looks pretty cool. Averaging just over 214 this year in 494 games bowled. Taking some time, getting set. Most players go through a certain routine.
Yeah, very important to make yourself comfortable prior to throwing the ball. Eight pin, the last one to go, Phil, and he's certainly comfortable on lane 47, but he's going to have to string some strikes together. The scores were very high this week.
Well, he looks solid at the line, Pilon. What a nice game. Himmler working on a strike. Can take the early lead here in the third frame.
Comes in light again and fortunate, breaks the 2-4 out of the 2-4-10. Let's take a look at a Dexter footwork of the pros. Brian Himmler pushes the ball away very early and has very quick feet. He drifts to the left to open his position at the foul line, and he uses the number 2 heel and number 2 sole combination on his shoes to plant and create leverage so he can throw the ball way to the right. That's this week's Dexter Footwork of the Pros.
Himmler with a spare in the third, so he has started off spare, strike, spare. Pilon strike, spare, strike. This match is all even heading into the fourth frame. Himmler with 5 regional titles to go along with that 1 national championship. He lost to Pilon earlier this week in match play, 258 to 187. But you can throw that out the window.
Yeah, that's not anything they're thinking about right now. Ten pins gone. The messenger came back and got it.
Wow. Powerful ball, almost left the 7-10 split. Fortunate enough to kick out that 10 pin, so relatively easy spare for Himmler in the fourth frame.
We'll watch Brian Himmler once again throw the ball very hard and straight.
Whoa, got the spare. So we've got a dandy going here in the opening match. We're in Canandaigua, New York. Back with more of this match in a minute. The score, Himmler 59 through 3, and Pilon can take the early lead, Marshall.
Well, and for Pilon, he needs to make an adjustment on lane 48. He went high, crossed over, left the 5-pin, and when he shot the 5-pin, Phil did not make a good shot on that either. That was also on the left side of that pin, so we'll see what he does coming up here in the fourth frame.
All these players love this television pair. 18 games bowled among the 5 players, and the average out of those 18 games, 251. Pilon averaged 262 on this pair.
Well, maybe we'll see that coming up now, but so far, right lane giving problems to both Pilon and Himmler.
Fourth frame, working on a strike. Better shot, leaves just the 4-pin.
More speed, kept the ball on line, but still crept a little bit high.
Again, Pilon bowled in a lot of amateur tournaments, and I asked him about the difference between amateur bowling and bowling out here on tour, and he said on tour the amount of great players. There's a few great amateurs in every tournament, but on the PBA there's so many great players.
Picks up the 4-pin without any problem, but someone's going to have to start striking.
A 1-pin advantage through 4 frames for Pilon, who is trying to win, and should he do that, he will be eligible for the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions later on the fall circuit. So we head to the midway point of match 1. The winner will face Walter Ray Williams Jr.
3-6-10 for Kurt Pilon.